Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone else out there around the world. Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video featuring Decidueye here, coming through the Master Rank in the jungle. It's about time we actually sit down and play, some Spirit Shackle. Give my thoughts and my opinions on Spirit Shackle per se. You know what I mean? I think I enjoy Razor Leaf a lot more, personally, just because I'm so used to being up inside that team fight. Whereas Spirit Shackle, for me, personally, is not that great. Just because playing in a solo queue game here, obviously, it's very, very hard to play Spirit Shackle and be effective, right? Because you never really always have a good team composition. People just always pick and block in what they feel like playing, and it is what it is, right? So you could be in a game with Decidueye, you got a Ninetales, you may have an Eldegoss, and then you have like 2 more DPS being a Gardevoir, and possibly anything else. Like, there's no necessarily a front line there. Like, there's nobody who wants to step up and take damage in that team composition there. Nobody. So you're sitting here playing Spirit Shackle. Meanwhile, the enemy team's got an Absol, or the enemy team's got a Greninja or a Gengar or whatever. You're pretty much just food. You know what I mean? They're just going to farm their Unite charge off of you just by killing you repeatedly, because you don't have a front line to stay behind. And I think that's the downfall with this ability, is the fact of it is so much fun to play with, and it feels great when you get those headshots, when you get that damage in with Spirit Shackle. But the downside is, like I said, if you don't have a decent front line, or a front line in general when you're playing this Pokemon, you can struggle to deal a lot of DPS, you can struggle to deal damage, you can struggle to get off good Spirit Shackle shots, because you can't have this ability up all the time, right? 9-second cooldown, give or take. When you upgrade it again, it goes a little bit lower. But at the end of the day, it's just like you can land one of these abilities, and then what? Then what do you do? Now, when you have a front line with you, you can land a Spirit Shackle and you can get a little bit up close and deal damage with auto attacks, you know what I mean? You have more free reign. But at the same time, you are super, super bad with positioning when you play Decidueye. You have to pay attention to where you're standing at all times. Just because, like I said, for those Pokemon like Absol, those Pokemon like Gengar, Greninja, the Pokemon that can get around you, Zero Aura, and just ignore your team composition and go straight through them and kill you gotta be careful about that. And you do have a Sylveon on the enemy team, for example, like she's playing Mystic Fire, so she has like 100 dashes, you know what I mean? But she's going to catch me whether or not I like it, if she has red buff or what have you. Like I said, you got to be mindful of what your team is doing. Whereas I have a Crustle, I have a Snorlax right here, I can be a little bit more aggressive, I can be more out there, per se. But if it weren't those two, if it was somebody else, like a range, like I said, like a Ninetales or like Gardevoir or whatever, I have to rely on them to land their crowd control for me to be effective or for me to be safe. Whereas Snorlax, Crustle, or whatever, they really just have to run at you, right? Essentially, you even have a Champ over here. All he has to do is run at you because he got Submission or Dynamic Punch. He's got a stun for you. He's a melee Pokemon, you know. That way you can take a breather and step back for a little bit and just deal some damage. Now, again, Spirit Shackle does a lot of burst, right? It does a lot of DPS. And the reason why we're running Scope Lens still, it's just because you can weave in some auto attacks, give or take. Now, Spirit Shackle does not crit. Just like Lucario's Power Punch, it does not crit. But it does massive damage from a distance, which is fun, you know what I mean? That's the thing. That's why people pick up the ability. It's like, wow, this is cool, I love playing this ability. Yeah, it's really, really fun. But how consistent is it? It's not super consistent. Just because, like I said, the team compositions that you find yourself in solo queue. Now, for those of you that sit here and play in groups, in the Discord, or you'll play in comms or what have you, it's easier to communicate in a group. Therefore, you can have more success playing Decidueye, playing Spirit Shackle, or playing Razor Leaf, for example. There's a lot of things that I do wrong playing Decidueye, for example, but there's also a lot of things I do right. But positioning is your key. Is your key to playing this Pokemon at a higher level, is your key to climbing ranks with Decidueye, is positioning. Not necessarily how much damage output you're putting out, it's just where are you at during that team fight. Because if you can get your micro, your awareness and all that sort of thing up to par with your macro, you can be a lot better playing Decidueye, or a lot better playing Ninetales or Gardevoir or what have you. As long as you're aware of what's going on in the map, where your team is at, where your position is, you can do so much better. I do think this Pokemon is not an S tier right now. I mean, he's been out for a little while. Everyone has had a chance of seeing him in game by now, unfortunately enough. But at the end of the day, he's not up there. He's not an S rank Pokemon. I don't think he's an S-rank Pokemon for a lot of players right now. Like, you know, a lot of other content creators, a lot of people who pick up the game like you and me, what have you, your grandma, or whatever. I don't feel he warrants an S-rank title, for example. Just because of the sheer fact of you guys have seen him in your game, right? 9 out of 10, he's pretty bad, right? Let's be honest. Look at this. And this is what happens. I step up one time, and I take 2200 damage to the face from Absol. I take a 1600 damage to the face from Absol. And there is no counterplay to that. Why? Because you have no mobility. You have no defensive capabilities whatsoever in your kit. You could argue Shadow Sneak. But as soon as somebody gets close to you, Shadow Sneak goes off, and what happens? You lose your movement speed buff, right? So you have no getaways. And that's the downside to playing this Pokemon, to playing Spirit Shackle versus Razor Leaf. In Razor Leaf, it kind of pushes you to be in melee range a little bit. Obviously, you're still ranged, so you're not, like, you know, neck and neck, but it pushes you to be more aggressive. It pushes you to actually get yourself up there in the front line to deal damage. And Razor Leaf does a lot of DPS, and that's where Scope Lens will help you out when it comes to damage there in that sense. But Spirit Shackle, you have to pay attention. You can't just walk up and be K. You know what I mean? Other than that, man, I do want to go ahead and go over some couple things. I posted a video a couple days ago about me doing some updates here soon. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all for checking that out and tuning in and dropping comments or what have you. Or messaging me in the Discord. Appreciate you. This was not intended. I did not mean to do that. My brain was all like, Shadow Sneak, where'd he go? And I just like automatically hit the Unite trigger. It is what it is. But in any case, man, I will be having some added game content to my channel here soon. We're doing some Runeterra. We'll be continuing my walkthrough or Let's Play, whatever you want to call it, of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pearl. Spirit Shackle does so much burst, man. Upfront, personal, doesn't matter. It just always does damage. That's why it's so reliable, as long as you can hit the shot. But in any case, we'll be doing some Legends of Runeterra, which is not League of Legends, but it is their TCG game, which I'm super excited about because I am an avid MTG. I'm an avid Pokemon TCG player. I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing Vanguard, Cardfight Vanguard, or Buddy Cardfight Vanguard, whatever you want to call it, since that released. Went to regionals a couple times for that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm super excited to bring Runeterra to the channel just because I enjoyed the game. And who doesn't like Arcane? Who hasn't seen Arcane on Netflix yet? I mean, come on now. The best TV show hands down, even though for people who don't even watch League, I get people come up to me from work or from what have you, but like, have you seen this, Sean? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's really fun. But yeah, I'm super stoked to bring a little bit of League stuff to the channel and everything. Hopefully it does well. You know what I mean? If not, it's just more content for you guys. Pokemon Unite will be my main focus, obviously, because I really enjoy this game. So this game will be posted every single day on my channel. Every day. You know what I mean? It's just one of those ordeals where right now we're getting Dragonite here soon, hopefully. I know content creators, I know normal people, you know, you, me, you know, grandma, what have you, we're all worried about it because there was a thing, Tencent and the Chinese government and the game stopping to do updates or whatever. You guys can't just believe every piece of information you guys watch on a YouTube video. You know what I mean? You can't sit here and be like, so-and-so said they're going to stop this, blah, 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 blah. Regardless of he or she said it or whatever, we all read the article together, right? We all read it, you know what I mean? So it's all speculation. We don't technically know what's happening, but hopefully you guys kind of ignore it because we've been getting updates ever since that thing has been released, you know what I mean? Ever since someone saw the article or whatever, we've been getting updates since the game. I mean, was it yesterday I got an update, and the day I get ready to log in and saw like restart your client for a new update. You're getting updates, guys. Stop letting every little piece of information scare you about Pokemon Unite. It's not going anywhere. It's really not going anywhere. But each their own, man. This has been Pawse Plays. Hopefully you guys do smash that like button because likes now help the video a lot more than they did before, considering YouTube has changed a little bit of things. But each their own. Come join that Discord. Come tell me I suck, man. I don't care. Let's get some groups going. Let's have some fun. I will catch you guys in the very next video. I'm gonna head out. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, or morning, or evening, what have you. This has been Pawse. I'll see y'all later.